Welcome to the Master Cars Pro channel. Today we'll talk about the problems and weaknesses of Skoda Superb. If the sole criteria for a family estate car was space, the Skoda Superb estate would be the answer to everyone's need. Simply put, it takes the already massive hatchback model and adds even more rear capacity, enough to outgun just about every rival in this class, and just possibly everything else on the road too. However, people look for a lot more than that in a good estate car. Luckily, the Superb offers enough to satisfy their needs in other areas too. There's a good choice of engines. For one, the 123 bhp 1.4 liter petrol engine props up the range, followed by a more powerful 148 bhp version replaced with a 1.5 liter petrol with the same power output plus WLTP from 2018 onwards. There are also a couple of versions of the 2.0 liter petrol with 217 bhp or 276 bhp, but it's the 118 bhp 1.6 liter and 148 bhp 2.0 liter TDI diesels that dominated sales are the most prevalent on the used market. The 2.0 TDI is also available with 187 bhp and can be had with a dual clutch automatic gearbox and 4-wheel drive. If diesels is not your thing, but you have an eye on efficiency, then later versions of the Superb estate offer the plug-in hybrid, the 1.4 TSI IV 218, which comes highly recommended too. This uses an 85 kW electric motor paired with a 1.4 liter petrol engine for a total power output of 215 bhp. It's one of the quicker versions of the Superb. 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 7.7 seconds, but also has an official electric only range of 35 miles. As far as trims go, entry-level S models are better equipped than most cars for the money, featuring a 6.5-inch touchscreen, aircon, Bluetooth connectivity, and a DAB radio. However, SE adds 17-inch alloy wheels, dual-zone climate control, and rear parking sensors and adaptive cruise. SE technology was aimed at business drivers, so it inevitably adds sat-nav, front parking sensors, and electric driver's seat with memory function. Higher spec SEL, Executive, and Lauren and Clement models are great value for money compared with similarly spec offerings from Audi, BMW, and Mercedes. Sportline and Sportline Plus trims were introduced in 2019-18 and come with larger alloys, interior and exterior black sporty carbon styling details, and satin between SEL, Executive, and Lauren and Clement trims. All Superb estates handles well, if not with the outright vigors of some of the smaller WVW group cars that shares its platform. Even in Sportline form with firmer suspension, avoid 19-inch wheels, and the Superb has a pleasantly supple ride that is almost a match for the Ford Mondeo. The only fly in the ointment is the occasionally floaty sensation you'll experience driving down an undulating road, perhaps not ideal for children who are prone to car sickness. It's refined on the motorways for the most part, with just a flutter of wind noise around the windscreen area and door mirrors. Inside, the driving position is good. The dashboard and the major instruments and controls are laid out in a clear and logical way, and the quality of materials used is high. It's racing debt-free space, of course, and in that regard, there's a large amount of front and a huge amount in the rear. The boot is long and deep and holds significantly more than its main rivals and easily accessed, although in terms of its practicality, it falls a little behind the flexibility offered by some SUV. All in though, a used Superb makes a terrific family car. It's hugely spacious, quietly handsome, and feels modern and up-to-date, as well as being an outstanding value. The diesels are the most economical, with the 1.6 TDI Green Line returning an average claimed 72.4 mpg, and the 148 bhp 2.0 TDI averaging a healthy 65.7 mpg in SE trim. The cheapest petrol to run will be the 1.4 TCI 150, which returns an average 54.3 mpg past WLTP. Engines don't seem quite as so economical, but the figures quoted for these models should be more relevant to real-world driving. The newer 148 bhp 1.5 liter petrol continues to be the most efficient model to drink from the green pump at 42.2 mpg, while the 148 bhp 2.0 liter petrol diesel continues to impress with a figure of 53.3 mpg. The most powerful 187 bhp diesel is far thirstier at 43.5 mpg, but that is for one with an auto gearbox and four-wheel drive. The worst of the lot is the most powerful 2.0 liter petrol that only gets 32.8 mpg. No Superb quite breaks into the free road tax ban, but the 1.6 TDI Green Line comes close with the CO2 emissions of 109 grams per kilometer, followed closely by the 2-liter diesel at 112 grams per kilometer. The cylinder deactivation technology of the 148 bhp 1.4 and 1.5 liter petrol helps to keep emissions down to 119 and 122 grams per kilometer respectively. Don't believe us? Well, the base engine 123 bhp 1.4 petrol that does without such tax pleats out more at 126 grams per kilometer, almost as much as the 187 bhp 2.0 liter diesel that lumbered with an auto gearbox and four-wheel drive. Neither the 217 bhp 146 grams per kilometer nor 276 bhp 168 grams per kilometer 2.0 liter petrol are particularly green because they chuck out plenty of greenhouse gases. Servicing plans are available for the Superb with reasonably priced plans payable by direct debit covering 2 or 3 services depending upon the length of cover you want. Examples aged between 1 to 10 years will either cost you 22.50 pounds over 18 months for 2 services, or 24 payments of 28 pounds for 3 visits. Alternatively, you go for a fixed price service at 179 pounds and add on any extra jobs such as air and fuel filter replacements separately when required. It's long and fairly wide car, so check the bodywork carefully for any damage and the alloy wheels for any curb damage. Make sure the rear seats fold as they should. Look at the condition of the carpet in the boot as well as the operation of the boot lid. Check the interior for any stains on the carpet or seat fabric and make sure all of the electrical items work as they should. Some Superbs made between 12 October 2018 and 27 June 2019 might not provide enough engine torque at low speeds. Affected cars can be sorted with a simple software update, which can be performed at a Skoda dealer. Some electrical functions and examples built between 1st May 2015 and 1st December 2015 could stop working due to an incorrectly installed cable clamp in the fuse box. Find out more from your dealer if your car is affected. The anti-trap software on Superbs constructed between 1st May 2015 and 1st April 2016 might not work when the sunroof is closing when operating the global close feature with your key. Speak to your dealer to find out if your example is affected, because a software update to disable the sunroof from the global closing system will be required. The rear wheel bearing housing on some Superbs assembled between 1st August 2017 and 31 August 2017 could shatter because the metal wasn't hardened correctly during manufacture. If your car is affected, it'll need to have new housings fitted at a Skoda dealer to sort the issue. The driver's airbag on a smaller number of cars made between 8 January 2018 and 28 February 2018 might not inflate quickly enough. in a collision and will require a new unit to be installed by a dealer to fix the problem. The airbags and seatbelt tensioners on some Superb's models, but it will be built between 1st May 2016 and 31 November 2016, might not trigger in a collision, potentially causing injury. Speak to your local dealer to find out if your car is one of those affected, because they'll need to reinstall all the relevant airbags and seatbelt tensioners to eradicate the problem. The Superb finished in mid-table position of 11th out of 22 executive cars, according to our most recent What Car Reliability survey. Skoda has a brand finished in 9th place out of 31 manufacturers in the same study. As far as trim goes, the S model is fine, but we'd keep be tempted to spend a bit more money and find an SE technology car which has the best compromise of equipment and price. SEL and SEL Executive at number of tempting luxuries, while top of the range Lauren and Clement model will appeal to those who appreciate an upgrade stereo and not having to scrape ice cream the windscreen because it's electrically heated. Both the 1.4 petrol and 1.6 diesel engines feel a little lackluster. The entry-level petrol is also the only engine in the range that can be had with an automatic gearbox. The 148 bhp 2.0 liter diesel is better because you don't have to work it so hard to make brisk progress. It's quicker than an equivalent Ford Mondeo, which say it's so good that it's not worth paying the extra for the really gutsy but more expensive 187 bhp version. Neither of the two 2.0 liter petrol engines are worth the added expense in fuel unless you only do urban driving. The Ford Mondeo Estate was once the go-to car in this class, and as it's big, great to drive and reasonably refined. It's good value for money too, whether new or used, reliable and relatively cheap to run. Although the Superb has stolen some of its thunder over recent years, the Mondeo is still a force to be reckoned with. The Volkswagen Passat Estate shares a lot of its underpinnings with the Superb, and it has a similarly capacious interior. It's good to drive, reasonably cheap to run, and loaded with luxury. There's a good choice of punchy and efficient engines and an excellent reliability record too. Well, if you are the owner of this car, then please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your feedback that'll help viewers when choosing a car. That's it for today. Thanks everyone for attention. It isn't much work for you to subscribe to the channel. See you soon.